One of your favorite speeches that I've seen you given, Mike, is where you talk about Bastiat's theory of laws being proper when they are not utilitarian and when government is not utilitarian. In other words, or utility, I should say. So the purpose of a law and a government in a fair society is not to create a functional utility to make highways, it's to protect our rights. So related to that question, I wanted to ask you if you agree with another constitutional theorist by the name of Randy Barnett, a law professor, who came up with this possibly simpler explanation, and he said, I have no right to impinge upon your rights. So a fair society tries to protect Mike's right or Charles's rights. Based upon that, the whole premise of the law is only to create laws that in the end protect Mike's right. But when government makes a law that says Charles cannot own a gun or Charles cannot drive more than 60 miles an hour, these are prohibitive rights that somehow there must be some value that outweighs to create a restriction on society. How do you think this fuses or doesn't fuse with your point of view and Bastiat's?
Well, now you kind of drifted, Charles, there, like you were saying, half of that was you and half of that seemed like it was this Randy Barnett guy or whatever you said his name was, so it kind of confused the issue.
Well, maybe there's a question hidden in there that you can rescue.
If the question was that, based on you don't have a right to infringe on somebody else's right, and how can government say outlaw guns? Government maybe can, people can conceive that what they're doing is securing everybody's life in that concept, that they're actually securing the right to life, liberty, and property by outlawing something. But then they're moving into an affirmative act. They're acting first instead of in retaliatory. And really, government is a retaliatory force. It's not supposed to be the initiation force, and that's why a lot of anarchists, they see government initiating force all the time. So in that scenario that you gave, it's going to violate somebody's right to defend themselves based on this concept that it's going to be good for the collective. And so it's denying individual rights for a collective rights, and there really are no collective rights. There are only individual rights.